What's up, guys? Welcome to another video in our CSS course. Today we're going to be talking about media queries and what they are and how to use them. So media queries allow us to set different styles based on the screen size that the person is viewing our web page on or our app. And what that means is this is how we make stuff responsive for tablets and mobile phones. And everything else that you can think of that you can view a web page on. So this is kind of the exciting, cool stuff. I'll show you how it works really basically, and then I'll give you like a practical example. But yeah, media queries are the key to making your stuff look good on all devices, guys. And yeah, they're pretty fun to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll jump into my CSS course code here. And I'm going to make a file called 15-CSS Media Queries.html. Get some boilerplate code up here. I'm going to put all my styles and style tags up in the head of my document. And I'm just going to title this page CSS Media Queries. Yep. And then I'm going to go ahead and just launch this with the live server extension here. I'm using Visual Studio Code. I suggest you follow along in the text editor with me here and code along with me. So, all right, so let's do some media queries. So first I'll make, let's see, what's the easiest way we could do this? We'll use the body to start out. And I'm going to put body, I'm going to put a background color of blue. And that's going to be, so our body turned blue. This is going to be like our desktop color for the page. So this is our default color is blue, right? Then we're going to use media queries. So I'll put a little comment here. So I'll say media queries, a little CSS comment. And we'll use media queries now to change the background of our page based on the size of screen that we're viewing, that the page is being viewed on. So this is the syntax for media queries. I'm literally just going to copy it. I don't even remember it by heart. If you put a gun to my head and said do a media query syntax after 5 years, I always copy it from somewhere. It's just one of my lazy things. So this code that we just copied, it says minimum width 480 pixels. And then it has style. So this means that any screen size 480 pixels and bigger have a light green background. Okay. So you can use min width or you can use max width. I use max width. That's just my style. Different developers prefer different things. Max width makes more sense to my brain. So instead of min width, max width says all screen sizes 480 pixels and below light green, not above, below. Okay, that's how I like to do my styles. You can use min width or max width, but I was taught with max width from my mentors back in the day, so that's what I stick with. So I'll keep that in there though. I'll keep max width 480 pixels and light green background color, and we can test that now by resizing our page and see how it went to light green. It's because our page went to 480 pixels or smaller, because that's the max width. And then the other more practical way to view that is to go into your page. I'll make this big. I'm going to right click and hit inspect. And we can view how our page looks on different screen sizes by clicking this device icon. And this will show you on all different screen sizes what your web page looks like in the developer tools. Okay, this is the mobile developer tools for Google Chrome. So on an iPad mini, it's the screen size is 768 by 1024. So since it starts at 768, that is bigger than the 480, so it still remains blue. But if we go down to like a cell phone screen size, we'll say the iPhone 678 Plus, it'll be light green. iPhone 12 Pro, still light green because it's 390 pixels. So anything up to 480, guys, it'll have that style. And as you can see with this simple concept, that's how we can totally change the styles of a page based on screen size just using media queries. So that's really cool. So that's one way. So let's change it. Let's make like a tablet view so that we can have a tablet, mobile, and desktop. So I'm going to copy all this media query. For each screen size, you have to have a separate media query. So that's 480. We'll make this one 767 and up. Or sorry, 768 and up. And we'll say background orange. Okay, so it'll be like a tablet size. So as you can see, it changed. So just to demonstrate it, desktop view, shrink, 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 and it says our pixels up on the top right if you'll pay attention to that. Tablet view, orange, and then mobile screen, green. Okay, so that's just like a really simple illustration of how media queries work. If you want, we can make let's make a little mock section on the page. So let's say a section. Pretend like I'm going to make something mobile responsive. And we'll give this a class of info section. And then we'll have 3 separate divs. And we'll have some H3s. Let's say heading. And some paragraph with some placeholder text. Say lorem 30, lorem ipsum 30. And I'm going to copy this down. Okay. And let's see how this looks. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of the background color stuff, guys. I'm just going to comment that out, because that's not what I want to focus on anymore. So I'll leave it in the code, but I'll comment it out for now. And then let's make like a, well, let's do some CSS reset. So let's say select all, margin 0, padding 0, box sizing border box. Okay. And then I'm going to make a container to put everything in. I'm going to say max width 1000 pixels, margin 0 auto. Okay. And then that didn't do anything because we got to add the container around everything. So let's just add this container. So I want to make our style our page up a little bit, make it look a little better. So I'll just put this nested in there. There we go. Now let's take a look at it. There it is. Everything's in a container now because, again, most normal websites don't stretch all the way out side to side. They're in some kind of like little container. And then let's go ahead and grab on our divs. And let's just space them out. Let's just say margin 3 rem top and bottom, 0 rem left and right. So I explain this a lot, guys, but rems, they go off of the base font size of a document. And for Chrome and all modern web browsers, pretty much, the default pixel size for stuff is 16 pixels for text. So 1 rem equals 16 pixels, so 16 times 3 is 48. So that's the same as me saying margin 48 pixels, but rems they just look prettier to me, so I use rems. Okay, simple as that. There we go. Now they got some spacing, and then we can even give them a little bit of background and padding. So say background color F4, 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 and then let's just say padding 1 rem. Okay. And then we'll give them, let's say border 1 pixel, solid black. Cool. All right. So that's our page. That's everything. Oh, you know what? We're actually going to give our divs classes because I don't want the whole thing to be like that. So let's just say class info. Let's say info. And we'll copy this on our other ones. I'll go up here. We'll say dot info. That's better. Okay. So there we go. We got some content. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make we'll select our info section. So I'm going to go above this code because the info section container comes before our info boxes. And we'll just display those flex and align the items center. And we'll justify the content center. So there we go. We did flex. So we just put them side by side. Okay. So this looks like a normal section of a website. We can add some gap in there for some spacing. So we can say gap 1 rem, 16 pixels. Okay, there we go. So it looks like a normal like little section of a website with 3 pieces of information, right? So that's fine for mobile, but what happens when our screen size gets smaller and smaller is it doesn't look so good. Okay, see that? And then to really get the good view of it, we're going to go back into our developer tools, right click, inspect, and then we'll go into like mobile phone views, and you can see like it doesn't look, it'll fit, the browser will make it fit, but as you can see on like the S9, this is a smaller screen size, it doesn't fit at all. 6, 7, 8, it fits, but it doesn't look great. So what happens usually on mobile screen sizes is these boxes will actually like stack on top of each other and be wider. So let's do that with our media queries. So I'm going to minimize this window, but we'll keep it. So let's do like a modern iPhone that's popular, like the iPhone 12 Pro. And I'll make this 75% zoom. And then we'll actually see it update in real time when we use our media queries. So let's say this 480 pixels is for like mobile phone portrait views. So we'll go ahead and copy our info section code because I want to leave everything else pretty much the same. We're just going to make it stack basically. So everything looks fine here. So I'm going to delete all this code because if I delete it, it's still the default code because it's above here. Remember, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. So the page gets read top to bottom. So it's going to keep that code. And then if we want to make any changes to the code, all we have to do is put our changes into our media queries. We don't have to copy all the other styles down. So to make flex items stack on top of each other, we use a property called flex direction. And then we can change this to column. And now they're going to stack. Okay, so that looks better on mobile phone, right? And then we can even do like gap 0, bring them up a little bit, and then we can even edit the margin. I think we added margin to these, right? Let's see, yeah. We have 3 rems of margin, so maybe it doesn't look so good on mobile to have that much margin. So copy our info box style. These are just like the individual box styling things. And let's just say margin 1 instead of 3. There we go. Now that looks better. And now that's the mobile view. So let's go ahead and X out of this, and we can shrink the screen size down. And you can kind of view it even better. So there we go. Desktop, desktop, tablet, tablet, mobile phone. Okay. Stacks on top of each other. So yeah, that's how we use media queries. We can see how it looks on like a tablet. Let's go to the iPad Air. It still looks okay. About the iPad Mini. Yeah, still looks okay. So not bad. And then you can hit this over here to switch it to the landscape view. So we can see the Galaxy S8 and then switch it to landscape. And landscape is like the sideways view that makes the screen wider, and it looks good on landscape. So we wouldn't have to change that to make it look okay. Looks good. So, but yeah, see how we very quickly made that section mobile just by adding media queries and a few lines of code, and didn't take much time at all. So mobile design's a lot easier now that we have technologies like media queries. But yeah, that's all I really want to show you guys with that. You can take this concept that I showed you as you make pages and literally just make your styles as you go. I have one long full project where I make a full design desktop to mobile that you can watch me build. I'll link it in the description. We build a big landing page and we make it mobile. One thing I will say is I like to work in a way to where I make the desktop version of all my designs first, and then I work my way down to mobile as I go, and I only build like one section at a time. So what I mean by that is I'll show you professional design here. I'm just going to go into my Figma. This is like a design software for web development, and it's free. This is like becoming the industry standard is Figma. So see this design, this landing page, this is the page that we built. I have another playlist where I built this whole design out. It's kind of complex. And I started with this desktop version, and we built the tablet and mobile versions fully, like a full real project. And I like some developers will make the whole desktop version like this before they do any media queries. And I hate working that way because when you go to make stuff mobile and you go to the mobile view on the Chrome developer tools, everything just looks so broken you don't even know where to start. It's like a big jumbled up mess. So what I like to do is I like to make my designs mobile as I go. So in other words, I'll make like this whole blue top section first. And then right away, once I get it looking perfect on desktop, I'll do my media queries and I'll do it for tablet. See, because it looks a little bit different on tablet. Okay, it looks like these background images don't show as much, and there's some differences. I'll make the tablet version first, and then I'll make another media query right away, and I'll make the mobile version, and I'll completely have this whole top part mobile responsive before I start going to this next section here, which is like a feature section. I won't even start building that until I've got this 100% complete. I like to get each section of a website 100% complete before I move on, so that when I'm done doing the very last section, I'm done. I don't have to go back there and do a bunch of mental gymnastics to find out why my page is broken on certain devices. So that's a really good piece of advice. I would suggest that you make your stuff mobile as you go. And if this isn't sinking in, media queries isn't quite sinking in, it took me a while before I understood it. I'm not a very fast learner. You can watch me build this page, and I'm going to have tons of other tutorials on here where I'm building full websites in the future. And you can build along with me, do 2, 3, 4 tutorials, get a good feel for how development goes and how media queries work, and then go off on your own and just mimic what I do. And by then you'll know it perfectly. So, yeah, guys, those are media queries. That's how you make pages responsive. I do want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.